Good morning, parents. A very warm welcome to Newtown Primary School's eOpen House. I am Zhen, your MC for this session. In today's program, our school principal, Mrs. Tan, will be sharing more with you on the school's signature programs and the Newtown experience. In her sharing, you will also hear from our student leaders who will share more about their leadership journey in Newtown. At any time during the presentation, you may key in your questions using the chat function. We will try our best to answer your questions during the Q&A segment. After that, two of our teachers will be sharing on how to level up your child's learning in the brain-based learning presentation. Before I invite our principal, let's watch a video first to hear more about the school from our lovely P1 students.
Okay, one more time. Nice smile. All right, confident.
I enjoy math and English. The teachers always give us fun math and English games.
There are many things that I enjoy about school, and having friends is one of them.
I get an opportunity to learn new things, talk and have fun with my friends. I like all my teachers because they are very kind. My form teachers because they teach very good lessons and they give you gifts if you behave. Criticism because she tells us funny jokes.
The teachers are very approachable and kind whenever we have problems, and they will always provide us good advice based on their experience.
My favorite food from the school canteen is seaweed noodles because it's very yummy. Chicken rice and fish ball soup. Sometimes I buy fruits and collect cards to exchange for a prize. My favorite part of the day is recess. When my teacher praises me for doing something correct, I feel happy and good because I get to go there and eat my seaweed noodles, which is really yummy. My most memorable moment is the Chinese New Year celebrations, the dance, the snacks. It's very fun. When I first saw the eco garden, my first day of school, there were lots of fish and some tadpoles and one frog. When I first came in class, everyone was looking at me and I felt very shy.
My most memorable experience in Newtown Primary was my Primary 5 camp.
The Shanghai and Hangzhou 2019 immersion trip.
Bonding between the teachers and the students were very special to me because we did many interesting activities like cooking and campfire.
At the trip, we interacted with the students from Shanghai. They were very welcoming and we were very touched by them.
I am proud to be a Newtown Primary student because my friends are always there to make me feel happy and put me in a good mood whenever I am feeling down.
I would describe Newtown with the word cozy. Newtown students are warm, cheerful and welcoming.
Begin with the end in mind is the most important to me because I believe that if you plan before doing anything, it will turn out to be successful.
Think win-win. It is because it's important to have good relationships with your peers and teachers so that everyone will be happy in our school.
Put first things first, as we are able to set our priorities right and work towards our goal. Then we could celebrate it by having fun.
I am a leader because I'm smart and kind. I take the initiative to help my friends. I am proactive and put first things first.
As the leader of the next generation, I would like to tell future Newtown students to work hard and look far.
Continue to be respectful and persevere as one of our values is resilience.
I'm Shufong. I have two children. My elder one has graduated from Newtown Primary School last year and my younger one is still in Newtown. I first heard about Newtown Primary School from my friend. She has two children here and she gave very good feedback about the school. When we came to have a look, the conduciveness of the schools attracted us and eventually we enrolled our both children here. We're really glad that we put the children in Newtown Primary. The school has very caring teachers and also school personnel. The other thing that I particularly like about Newtown is the diversity of the children. Children come from different backgrounds and therefore my children learn how to get along with people from different culture and they're exposed to different people in their primary school years.
Hi, I'm Henny. I have two children. One has graduated last year and currently is in SOTA. Another one is in P4 in Newtown Primary School. we are quite familiar with the school, and the school looks nice, clean and conducive for learning. And when we actually come in for open house, the staff were very friendly and they encourage the kids to speak up whenever they're having the class activity, and the facilities are also good. For my first girl, the first time when she came in, she was socially awkward, and to see her now, it will not be possible if the teachers here didn't let her make a mistake and let her learn and to grow into who she is now. The other thing is the teacher is willing to do more and beyond. The school doesn't only cultivate academic excellence, they cultivate leaders and holistically develop children.
Teaching is not about filling the pot, but lighting the fire.
In Newtown Primary, we want to make a difference in your lives, and we know that you will blossom in your time.
Every student is a dreamer today and an achiever tomorrow.
Every child is special. Come learn with us and have fun.
Are you ready to grow and learn in Newtown Primary?
We will now invite our principal, Mrs. Tan Wee Pin, to begin her sharing. Mrs. Tan, please.
Thank you, Richard. A very warm welcome to all parents. Thank you for joining us at our eOpen House this morning. I'm Mrs. Tan Wee Pin, Principal of Newtown Primary School. Together with me today are my vice principals, key personnel and teachers. We'll be here to share more about our Newtown experience and answer some of the questions you might have later on. You can also access our eOpen House microsite on our school official website to find out more about our school. Now, there are many different considerations when it comes to choosing a primary school for your child. It depends on the balance between considering their needs and interests, as well as your unique preferences, like looking at the distance between the school and where you stay, or at the school's history, culture, and ethos. I hope the session today will help you gain a good sense of our school's caring culture and vibrant learning environment. Now, in Newtown, we ensure good groundwork is laid so that your children will enjoy a smooth transition to Primary 1 the moment they enter our school. Our signature Start It Right program marks the start of their positive school experience. Through this program, they learn to work together with their form teachers and classmates to co-create a caring and enabling environment where students look out for one another and when they know that they can always turn to their teachers for guidance and support. Beyond Start It Right, our teachers continue to connect with their students throughout the year through the weekly Morning Connect sessions. These are one-to-one conversations to nurture positive relationships. We want the children to know that Newtown teachers care about who they are, their interests, and their learning. In Newtown, we believe that a caring and an empowering classroom environment sets the foundation for our students to discover the joy of learning. As a school, we strive to nurture our students holistically through the provision of a wide spread of CCAs. In Newtown, we have about 16 CCAs, as well as different enrichment programs. For example, to support those requiring foundational support, as well as higher ability programs to stretch those with strong passion and aptitude in domains like the English language, mathematics, and science. Later on, you will also have the chance to hear how we incorporate brain-based learning principles in our school to enhance and level up the learning of our children in Newtown. Enjoy this short video for a glimpse of the joy of learning that happens in our classrooms. As you have seen in the video clip, we pride ourselves in providing a good range of learning experiences for our students. Our belief is that every student wants and is able to learn and flourish if given the space and opportunity to shine. Newtown aspires to be a good school that constantly challenges and reinvents itself in its ongoing stages of growth. To prepare our students to have the skill sets to meet current and future challenges, we have two distinctive programs: our Learning for Life program in student leadership and our latest addition, Applied Learning program, Citizen Science at Newtown. As part of our Learning for Life program in student leadership, our students in Primary 1 are taught that leadership begins with each of them taking charge of themselves to be responsible leaders. Through our signature Leader in Me program, all students acquire 7 Habits of Highly Effective People skills by Stephen Covey. The school also provides opportunities for them to put their leadership skills into action and where they work on projects to bring about positive changes at home, in school, and the community. Do enjoy the next video that will feature our student leaders.
Good morning. I am Terence, the head prefect of Newtown Primary School. With me are Celeste and Kaisara, the assistant head prefects.
Hi everyone!
We are privileged to be given this opportunity to share our school experience in our Newtown family. Let me start first. In Newtown, we learn from teachers who are kind, patient, and who are passionate about teaching. They are good listeners and always willing to lend a helping hand.
Yes, Terence, just like you, I think that my school experience is enriching because of our teachers. How about you, Kaisara?
Yes, I agree absolutely that our teachers make all the difference. They make learning fun and easy to understand. I'm also thankful for the leadership opportunities given to me. I especially appreciate the training given to me to help me become a sharper and more confident leader.
You are right! The training is really useful as it helps me to empathize better when I interact with my schoolmates. This comes in handy also when I encourage my schoolmates to contribute ideas to improve the school environment and students' well-being.
Actually, Terence, are there challenges leading others?
Of course! That's where I find the 7 habits really handy. I believe in using Think Win-Win to help me manage difficult conversations between schoolmates. Kaisara, what about you? Do you find leading easy?
No, but I encourage myself by reminding myself that there are some students who look up to me, and hence I have to do my best to be exemplary in my words and actions. Besides, I really enjoy helping others. It gives me a sense of satisfaction, which brings me much joy. How about you, Celeste? What motivates you to become a student leader?
Well, being able to serve others gives me the adrenaline rush. It gives me a great pride to be able to represent the student body and to share their ideas with the teachers. Earlier on, Terence said that the habit Think Win-Win was the most useful for him. For me, the habit that I find most useful in my role is seek first to understand, then be understood. Effective communication is an important aspect of a student leader. It is important for me to understand my schoolmates' perspectives and to share that of my own without belittling anyone's opinion. It is also about arriving at a win-win.
Wow, Celeste, that's inspiring. As for me, the habit that empowers me the most is to be proactive. This serves as a reminder for me to take the initiative to take action whenever the situation sees a need. I also try to focus on what is within my circle of control and influence. This really helps me to persevere in the face of challenge.
Thanks, Kaisara and Celeste. From today onwards, I am going to work towards being more proactive and to seek first to understand. And with this, we have come to the end of our segment. We hope that we have managed to share a snippet of our school experience with you. On behalf of all at Newtown Primary, we look forward to welcoming you to join us, our Newtown family. Goodbye!
I hope you have enjoyed the sharing by our student leaders, Terence, Kaisara, and Celeste. Now, our applied learning program aims to develop our students as active contributors and future leaders in addressing community issues through the lens of science. Titled Citizen Science at Newtown, this program provides multidisciplinary learning experiences that serve to help them see the intricate relationship between science and national education. At Primary 2, children will learn to appreciate issues and challenges of energy, food, and water security in Singapore. This will help them understand the challenges of a city-state with limited natural resources. At Primary 3 to 5, the children are provided authentic learning experiences related to these three natural resources: energy, food, and water. Through this, they can acquire a deeper understanding of how science can be applied to address these issues. At Primary 6, students will then apply what they have learned in the past 4 years to initiate projects to impact and influence their class, school, and community on these issues. Our value proposition is to expand our children's critical thinking skills and perspectives through a multidisciplinary approach. The school is also currently undergoing on-site upgrading. We have started our upgrading since about 2 years ago in 2019. We are looking forward to a new 6-story block, which is projected to be completed in October 2021, just in time to receive our Primary 1 children. So our Primary 1 students next year will be able to enjoy the new and enhanced school facilities, which will include a new school field, special rooms like CCA rooms, aesthetics rooms like band room, dance studios, staff resource rooms, teaching lab, and student care center. These facilities will support our students in the pursuit and nurturing of interests and talents in the various domains of learning, like sports, aesthetics, languages, and STEM. Now, earlier this year, our former Minister for Education, Mr. Lawrence Wong, announced in Parliament that Newtown Primary School has been identified to be the Centre for Teaching and Learning Excellence. Working in partnership with master teachers from the Academy of Singapore Teachers and the National Institute of Education to enrich the professional development landscape for teachers, CTLE at Newtown will offer a range of professional development opportunities and programs such as webinars, sharing of innovative classroom pedagogies, demonstration classes, and master classes. As such, our teachers at Newtown will be at the forefront of championing and experimenting new and innovative teaching pedagogies to effect change on the ground. Teachers are key to bring about rich student experiences in the various domains of learning. Here is a brief introduction of our Newtown educators.
Teaching is not about filling the pot, but lighting the fire.
If you're persistent, you can have it. But if you're consistent, you can keep it. Getting to know my kids is the best part.
我致力于激发学生的学习兴趣，且愿意身体力行，言传身教，终生学习。
Sebagai seorang pendidik, saya percaya pembelajaran sepanjang hayat amatlah penting.
மாணவர்களே, எங்கள் நியூடவுன் பள்ளிக்கு வாருங்கள். எங்கள் கற்றலில் பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளுங்கள்.
If you believe in yourself, everything is possible. Every child is unique. As a teacher, I hope to maximize everyone's potential, helping every one of them to reach their potential and beyond.
I aim to inspire my students to believe in themselves so that they will live up to their full potential.
It is not just about the student's academic excellence, it is also about nurturing the whole child.
I want to embrace all learners and bring out the best in every child.
If you can reach them, you can teach them.
child wants to learn and can learn. I believe strongly in treating each child as our own because they are for us to grow and to mold.
I believe a sense of self is important in a child's development, and I like to nurture that in all our children.
We want to make a difference in your lives, and we know that you will blossom in your time.
In Newtown, every student is a dreamer today and an achiever tomorrow.
Every child is special. Come learn with us and have fun.
Are you ready to grow and learn in Newtown Primary?
I hope the clip has given you a sense of our teachers' beliefs, energy, and commitment in guiding our students through their different stages of learning. Now, as a school with a rich history of over 50 years, we have heard many uplifting Newtown stories on celebration of successes and overcoming of challenges and obstacles. A common thread in these wonderful stories is the strong homeschool partnership to inculcate in our students the school's RISE values: resilience, integrity, service, and excellence. Values to enable them to learn independently and to learn for life. We are very happy to be able to give you a sense of the pulse of our school and what we aspire to do in providing our students with a holistic education and a happy school environment in Newtown. We are a good school with big dreams. So thank you and enjoy the rest of the eOpen House program this morning. Stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Thank you, Mrs. Sun, for the sharing. Next up, we have prepared a short and exciting video to showcase some of our programs and CCAs. Please enjoy. Now, have you wondered how you can help your child to maximize his or her learning? Madam Woon Wei Lee and Madam Ko Chun Hia will now share more with you in the next segment. Madam Woon, please.
Thank you, Richard. Good morning, parents. When it comes to learning, we will naturally associate it with the brain. Today, Chun-Hia and I will be sharing with you how we in Newtown make use of brain-based learning principles to level up and support the learning of our students. Here is the session outline. We will start off the presentation with a brief overview of the brain-based learning principles. After which, we will share more of how we incorporate these principles in the design of school experiences to improve the mental well-being, learning behavior, and mindset of our students. Let's begin by understanding more about the brain-based learning principles. In this slide, we will see 12 learning principles. These principles are derived from scientists after years of research about the brain using neuroimaging techniques and scans. From the neuroscience findings, scientists are able to discover patterns of how people learn. As teachers, by understanding these brain-based learning principles which address students' learning, we will be able to create a more positive learning environment by using these evidence-based theories to guide our practices. Every child learns differently, and we strongly believe that every child can learn and wants to learn. By adopting brain-based teaching in the classroom, we are able to plan meaningful and engaging experiences to support the learning development of our children through more effective strategies.
According to brain-based learning principles, sleep habits and emotions affect cognitive function. It is important for our children to have sufficient sleep and be in a positive emotional state so that learning can be effective and long-lasting. Now, how much sleep do you think a primary 1 student needs? Health Hub Singapore states that for children of school age between 6 to 13 years of age, they need around 9 to 11 hours of sleep a day. Is your child getting the required amount of sleep daily? A lot of research has been done on the importance of sleep and how it is essential for memory formation and consolidation. During the first 2 hours of sleep, the hippocampus in the brain provides temporary storage for new learning information. This information is then channeled from the hippocampus to more permanent storage in the cortex of the brain in the 2nd to the 6th hour of your sleep. In the cortex, the information is integrated with related concepts to build lasting knowledge in the last stage of the sleep. Thus, the reason why our children need to have sufficient sleep for the consolidation of knowledge to happen. The required amount of sleep can include nap times in the day as well. Naps in the day help re-energize the mind and body. Now, the 2 diagrams on this slide show the benefits when we sleep and the negative effects when we don't. Sleep keeps us healthy and functioning well. It lets our body and brain repair, restore, and re-energize. If we don't get enough sleep, we might experience side effects like poor memory and focus, weakened immunity, and mood changes. There is an Irish proverb that states, "A good laugh and a long sleep are the 2 best cures for everything." Just on 15 March this year, in a Straits Times article, it was reported that higher performing students sleep earlier and more adequately. Lack of sleep affects our children's ability to focus their attention optimally, leading to inefficiency in learning and making it harder for them to absorb new information. In our school, sleep surveys were conducted on our students with the intention of finding out more about their sleep habits. With the findings, we're able to identify the children with poor sleep hygiene and advise them accordingly. We also communicate with their parents so that together we can support the children and ensure that they are in an optimal state for learning. The emotions affect learning. The amygdala is a part of the brain that controls emotions. When the amygdala senses threat, it becomes overactivated and new learning information cannot pass through the brain to allow learning to be processed and stored. On the other hand, when the amygdala senses dopamine, which is a feel-good hormone, the child becomes thinking and reflective. It is thus important to guide our children to recognize and regulate their emotions. So how can we do this? Can we actually do this by practicing mindfulness as it helps in getting the child to be aware of their emotions so that they can help self-regulate. This is important to us as adults too. In a research conducted by Harvard Graduate School of Education, findings show that mindfulness education in the classroom can reduce students' level of stress, lengthen their attention spans, and regulate their emotions. We as teachers observed that when our students are not able to self-regulate, we will step in to reset their negative state and reinforce their positive state. This article appeared in the Straits Times also in March this year. There is now more evidence that social emotional skills and learning go hand in hand. When we focus on our children's strengths instead of their weaknesses, we help them to develop better mental well-being and resilience to overcome challenges. In Newtown, every day after recess, our students practice mindfulness by listening to calm music, closing their eyes, and doing breathing exercises before they go to their classes for lessons. This helps the children to reset their emotions, release whatever negative feelings they had during recess, so that they can be in a positive state for lessons.
Now, we will look at how we can optimize the learning of our children by intentionally reducing cognitive stress. One such method is using brain breaks. Stress is a significant factor affecting memory, behavior, and learning. Research has shown that stress can impair brain cell communication. When our children are stressed, they experience difficulty creating short-term memories, and chronic stress can even kill brain cells or reduce the size of the brain. It is therefore important for us to manage the stress faced by our children. In Newtown, we create a safe and positive classroom environment for our children to learn. We do so by building a classroom culture which is made up of positive relationships, clear expectations, positive discipline, and trust. At the start of each school year, we have our Study Right program where activities are scheduled for the teachers and students to get to know one another, be familiar with the school rules and routines, and to co-construct classroom mission statements together. We believe that such experiences will help foster better teacher-student and student-student relationships, thereby enabling our children to feel connected and empowered in the classrooms. To build greater rapport and interactions with our children, our teachers carry out Morning Connect every Thursday. During the weekly Morning Connect sessions, teachers will chat with one or two students. It is a time to create deeper bonds and also for us to find out the needs of our children so that we can support them in a timely manner. These are examples of classroom mission statements created by both the teachers and students. We make use of the classroom notice boards to remind our children of expectations and to showcase their achievements and leadership roles. This helps to instill a sense of community and connectedness where we see one another as one Newtown family. This diagram shows the average attention span of children from 4 to 12 years old when participating in brain complex tasks. Are you surprised by the data shown? Or is this an observation of our children these days? Most learning begins with attention. Without a good attention span, students will find it difficult to stay on task and process their learning. This will also lead to stress. With the knowledge that a limited attention span and overloading of information can cause cognitive stress, one way to support our children's learning is to schedule brain breaks during study time. Brain breaks are mental breaks designed to help our students stay focused and reduce mental fatigue. Our brain can only process so much information at once. Having brain breaks allow the mind to reset the neural activities for a few minutes. Through brain breaks, not only will our children refocus their attention, they will be able to consolidate their learning and sharpen their memory. This helps them in relieving stress and improving their emotional and mental states. Examples of brain breaks include physical movements, sensory activities, and mindfulness exercises. Movements and music are great ideas to incorporate into brain breaks. They reduce frustration and increase productivity. Mindfulness breaks, as shared by Madam Cole, help to focus attention by clearing the mind and distractions. Brain breaks are incorporated in our school day to encourage our students to regain their focus and learn more effectively. Every day, at a stipulated time, students will carry out the brain break exercise, which consists of 6 different movements. These movements help to relieve the tension and stimulate the different parts and functions of the brain. In this last segment of the presentation, I will share with you how we can improve the attitude and mindset of our children through our understanding about neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to grow new connections at any age. The brain is capable of reorganizing itself and even changing gene expression. With this important understanding, we can now convincingly share with our children that everyone is capable of improving and growing, and the effort they put into their learning is important. According to research done, environment influences the brain more than genes. This further illustrates the importance for us to create a conducive and engaging environment to develop our children for them to maximize their potential. With this understanding about the brain, we make use of positive teacher language to cultivate a growth mindset in our children. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities can be developed and improved through efforts. To instill this mindset, we do so by recognizing our children's strengths, affirming their efforts to try, seeing their mistakes as opportunities for learning, and importantly, role modeling the growth mindset. Last but not least, quoting from Albert Einstein, education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. With more researches done in neuroscience, we are now able to incorporate this evidence-based theory into the design of positive classroom experiences to better cater to the holistic learning and development of our students. As expressed in our school's vision, we are committed to nurture Newtown students to be passionate learners, critical thinkers, and anchored leaders. With this, thank you very much, parents, for your time today. If you have questions regarding our sharing, please key into the feedback form at the end of the Q&A segment. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Woon and Madam Ko. We have now come to the Q&A segment. We will be answering some of your questions. Let's take a look at the first question. How will students be supported in their transition from kindergarten to primary school? We will now invite our Vice Principal, Mrs. Chan, to share with us more.
Good morning, parents. Thank you for joining us this morning. I will share a little bit more about how our children will be supported. So the children coming to join us in 2022, they will begin their primary 1 journey during our year-end orientation program. They will have the opportunities to meet our form teachers. They will also experience some of the programs which they can look forward to when they join us in primary 1. Nevertheless, we also will involve the parents during the orientation program so that the form teachers can share a little bit more about how you can prepare your child for primary 1. The first few days of school will mark a very important transition from kindergarten to primary 1. So to ease them into adjusting to a new environment, we will usually begin with shorter curriculum hours during the first few days of school. The form teachers will also engage the children through our Study It Right program, as mentioned earlier on by my principal. The form teachers will carry out a series of bonding activities, games, to allow the children to get to know each other better, so where friendships can be forged, and they can also establish their relationships with the form teachers as well as their year head. In 2021, this year, we have also started our buddy system in every class, so that every child can be a buddy to appear in their class, as well as every child will have a buddy to journey with them through the year. Not forgetting that parents play a very important role. So during the first few days of school, we will also be engaging the parents to share a little bit more about our programs, our activities during the first few days of school in our school. Yeah. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Mrs. Chan. Right, let's take the next question. How are students with learning and behavioral needs supported at Primary 1? We will invite Mr. Lee, our HOD for special educational needs, to share with us more.
Hi, good morning, parents. So depending on the needs of the student, we have a team of allied educators who provide learning, behavioral, and social emotional support to our students. And we also have a group of teachers who are trained in special needs to support students with more special educational needs to support their diverse learning. And at the beginning of primary 1, they will also be identified for any literacy or numeracy issues, and they will receive intervention through our school's learning support program. Now, for students whose literacy difficulties continue to persist and are diagnosed with dyslexia, they'll be identified for the school-based dyslexia remediation in primary 3 and primary 4 to receive specialized remediation. And if necessary, our allied educators will also work with these students to help them with their reading and writing skills. For students with behavioral issues, our allied educators may provide in-class support or conduct one-to-one session with the students to teach them strategies to help them to cope and learn better in class. Now, we also work closely with our MOE educational psychologists and external agencies for assessment and intervention planning. So do rest assured that our teachers will be on the lookout for students who require additional support, and they'll be identified to our team for more intervention and support as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Right, let's take a look at the next question. How does the school handle discipline matters? We will have Madam Lee, our HOD for student management, tell us more. Madam Lee.
Good morning, parents. Newtown embraces a fair, educative, and restorative approach to discipline. Our student management team works closely together with Year Head team and student well-being to ensure positive peer-to-peer relationships. When there's a behavioral lapse, the children's well-being is our utmost concern. We'll follow up with the parents and students involved to ensure that students are educated on their choice of actions and consequences, and to restore the relationship among one another. So I hope I've addressed this question. Thank you, Regent.
Thank you, Madam Lee. Right, we have one more question. How are the lower primary students assessed without examinations? We will now invite our Vice Principal, Mr. Ong, to tell us more. Mr. Ong, please.
Hello, everyone. Yes, how are the lower primary students assessed without examinations? May I begin my sharing by saying that exams or no exams, assessment is always ongoing. In fact, if I may push this further, exams or no exams, the spirit of assessment has never changed. It is about making our students learn even better with the assessment. But what has changed, perhaps, is the focus and emphasis. With exams, definitely the focus will be on grades. When we take away the exams, the focus will shift on assessment for learning. Now, allow me to introduce to you this term called holistic assessment, where assessment for learning is the focus. When we talk about assessment for learning, we're talking about using this information to help the children to understand where I'm going and how to get there. And we do this through providing very useful feedback to the children to move their learning forward. So let me give you an example. Let's say if we take the children to the zoo and when they return, we want them to do a writing piece. Now, in order for them to learn better, we will be very explicit in telling them that in the writing piece, what are the success criteria, what is needed to be included. Like, for example, why are you going to the zoo? What did you see? How did you feel? Do you use words that describe the animals very vividly? Then after the writing task, our feedback will be in terms of the qualitative descriptors that will tell the students where they are and where they are going and how to get there to the next level. So we do this to emphasize that assessment right now is actually assessment for learning rather than the previous emphasis on grades. I also like to share that in holistic assessment, we also use varied modes of assessments besides the typical and the normal pen and paper. We use show and tell, we use performance tasks, because we recognize that younger children have various ways of expressing what they have learned. So therefore, we use various modes. Now, we do all these things because we recognize that for young children, it is important to build their confidence and desire to learn, and hence the holistic assessment. Now, I also like to take this opportunity to share with you another program that we have in order to build the children's confidence and desire to learn. It is what we call the PAL program, the Program for Active Learning. Now, in this program, we want to nurture the students in the 3 C's. The 3 C's stands for confidence, curiosity, and cooperation, something that is very natural in the young children, and we want them to continue to cultivate these as they grow. So for 2 hours every week over P1 and P2, the children will go through the PAL program, and in these 4 areas, the performing arts, the visual arts, sports and games, and outdoor education. And because we want to nurture confidence, curiosity, and cooperation, how this is conducted is very hands-on, very experiential in nature. We provide a lot of opportunities for students to create, and we also incorporate values and social emotional learning in these lessons. So all in all, we want to create an environment that welcomes the children to play, to explore, and to work in teams. So we hope that with all this, we can build the children's confidence and desire to learn with us. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Ong. All right, looks like we have time for one last question. One more question. Okay, what are the CCAs offered in the school? We will have Ms. Low, our subject head for PE and CCA, to tell us more.
In Newtown, our primary 1 and 2s are not involved in CCA. Instead, they are engaged in enrichment programs such as speech and drama, Swim Safer, Applied Learning Program, ALP, and LLP, our lifelong learning program. They will learn how to speak confidently in front of audiences, acquire swimming proficiency and life-saving skills, food, energy and water security, as well as student leadership through the explicit teaching of the 7 habits. Now let me take this opportunity to share with you about the CCAs in our school. In Newtown, we believe that CCA is an integral part of our students' holistic education. Through CCA, students discover their interests and talents while developing values and competencies that will prepare them for the rapid changing world. CCA also promotes friendship among students from diverse backgrounds as they learn, play, and grow together. Participation in CCA fosters social integration, deepens students' sense of belonging, commitment, and sense of responsibility to school, community, and nation. There is a wide selection of 16 CCAs in Newtown for our primary 3 and to primary 6 students. 4 sports, 6 performing arts, 4 clubs and societies, and 2 uniform groups. To find out more about the individual CCA, please visit our microsite and school website. Thank you, Ritan.
Thank you, Ms. Low. Right. Our principal son will be taking one more question.
I will take the question from Sholin, of course. Mrs. Lin Chan has replied. I thought I'll just elaborate a little bit more. So for the teacher to student ratio for primary 1, as a national policy, all our primary 1 and primary 2 classes are up to 30 students per class. So for a typical school, you will see between perhaps 25 to 30 students, a maximum of 30. Starting from primary 3, class size can go up to about 40. So on average, the number of classes per level can be between 6 to 8, depending on the levels that they are in. So we thank Sholin for the question.
Thank you, Mrs. Tan. Now this is the end of the Q&A segment. You may also refer to our school website for more information. Thank you, parents, for attending our eOpen House today. Before we conclude,